What were Valorant's agents up to before they joined the Valorant protocol? Did they work? Have families? Well, in this video, I'll be going over our agents' lives before Valorant. Astra is a member of a group called the Astral Guardians, which are either some kind of cosmic race or are at least connected to some kind of cosmic powers. Before joining Valorant, it seems that Astra had some kind of life-changing moment at a lake that we believe to be Lake Bonsumtwi in Ghana, where she's from. It's theorized that at this lake, Astra received her powers, and at the bottom of it was the golden gauntlet she wears now, which is an Astral Guardian artifact. Although she's part of the Astral Guardians, we have not seen any other members so far, so we're wondering if maybe she's the only one alive right now? All she was left with is an incomplete set of knowledge in the otherworldly language of the Astral Guardians. She's working to learn and understand more, but there's still so much left that she doesn't know. KO is from an alternate timeline in the future, where war has broken out between humans and Radiants. KO was originally built to kill Radiants in this war, with his name standing for Kingdom Anti-Yield Operative. He witnessed the absolute destruction that was brought on the world from this war. He was best friends with future Brimstone, and unfortunately had to watch him die at the hand of this war. Considering the loss of those he loved, alongside the complete destruction of the world, he found a way to travel to our timeline to prevent the future he was part of from taking place. He came through the teleportal on Breeze and now works as a member of the Valorant protocol. Chamber wore a couple different hats before he joined Valorant. He is from Paris, France, and he was once part of the French military before becoming a marksman for a private military group. After that, he went on to work at Kingdom Corporation as the chief weapon designer for their defense program, which makes sense why he brings his own guns to the fight. Before joining Valorant, he worked alongside his Omega counterpart to orchestrate the destruction of the scientific research of Radianite occurring on the map Fracture, where scientists from both Alpha and Omega Earth were working together for the first time. Both chambers fired their tour de force snipers at the collider to destroy it. His reasons for doing this are unknown to us, but Chamber believes that what they did was for a greater good. However, the Valorant protocol is not aware of his involvement in the destruction of Fracture, so what might happen if they ever find out? As a school-aged kid, Neon was huge into basketball and even played for her high school team. Once she gained her radiant powers, though, she struggled to control them. She's got enough bioelectricity to power an entire city block. One of the things that heavily influences her ability to control her power is actually her emotions, which she struggles to keep in check. Her struggles inspired her father to try and find something to help her. Her father is a scientist who works at Kingdom, and he developed a surge protector suit to help her control her radiance. This provided so much relief for Neon, as well as inspiring him to work with other Radiants who needed help like his daughter did. Neon eventually joined her father and began working at Kingdom as well as part of the K-Sec division. There she met Chamber, although the two don't get along. However, Chamber recognized her abilities and suggested Brimstone recruit her to Valorant. Fade was a freelance bounty hunter specialist. She used her information gathering skills alongside her radiant abilities to hunt down criminals. However, someone close to her went missing, and so she used her talents to dig into the information available and try and find him. She thought that Valorant had taken him hostage, so she began to blackmail them to try and get information out of them. Information about her missing person that they didn't have because they didn't kidnap him. Finally, when Fade was found by the team, Cypher interrogated her and she found out the truth about there being another Earth, Omega Earth. So it seems that Omega Earth may perhaps have had something to do with the person that Fade is searching for, although we really don't know. However, after that, Fade was recruited to Valorant, but it was a bit of a difficult transition from her being Valorant's blackmailer to a teammate, but over time, they've gotten a bit closer. Harbor was employed for a group called Realm that worked to find historical relics and preserve them. Harbor and his coworker Captain Greaves went on a mission to find a water bracelet relic. However, when Harbor found it, it clung to his wrist of its own accord and gave him the water abilities he has now. Greaves showed his true colors, though, when this happened. He wanted the relic for himself, and was willing to kill Harbor for it. So, Harbor used his new abilities to escape the clutches of Greaves. Greaves called Realm and lied to them, telling them that Harbor had gone rogue. That's when Valorant stepped in, saved Harbor from Realm chasing him, and recruited him to the team. Gekko was living in LA, and suddenly some creatures started showing up around town. He realized that these creatures were being held, used, and researched by Kingdom, so he decided to break into Kingdom's facility in LA and rescue the 4 Radivore creatures there: Wingman, Dizzy, Mosh, and Thrash. He bonded with them and was on the run from Kingdom when he was recruited to Valorant by Reyna. Deadlock was part of a group called Stahljager, which is Norwegian for steel hunters. Her and her 2 sisters in arms were in a group called the Ursa Group. They were contracted by Kingdom to help move a Radivore bear from the tundra to Los Angeles. However, this Radibear had broken out of its containment and unfortunately killed both of her sisters in arms and the Kingdom employee they were escorting. The Radibear also got Deadlock's arm, and after passing out, Sova found and saved her. She was then recruited to Valorant, and Killjoy made her a prosthetic arm. Iso was a contract killer for a group called the Scions of Hourglass. His notoriety grew as he began to take out larger groups and entire operations as a solo assassin for hire. He eventually began to be seen as a bulletproof, mythical assassin who was able to take out an entire squad with 1 round. He was dubbed the Dead Lilac because of the purple flash they'd see before they died, hinting at his purple-colored abilities. After taking out the group of scientists connected to Kingdom's sketchy Radivore and Interverse research in LA, he was assigned to assassinate Omen. He decided to join Valorant to complete his mission, but Cypher kept a close eye on Iso as he could see through Iso's ploy. However, after spending some time with the team, Iso decides not to follow through with eliminating Omen, and truly joins the VP in their fight against the Scions of Hourglass, resulting in the Triple Cross. Clove grew up in Scotland and was very interested in books, which was a result of having a librarian mother. Then, after high school, Clove took Scotland's Hires, which are a set of exams and qualifications needed to enter university. They're similar to A-levels in England. However, Clove did not end up going to university. Instead, Omen met Clove in a library in Scotland where they fought together against the Scions of Hourglass, who were looking for a special book. That's when Omen discovered Clove's immortality and suggested recruitment to Brimstone. Vyse used to be a scientist for Kingdom, and she actually worked alongside Viper in some capacity, although the two don't get along super well. While there, she did extensive research on the Interverse. However, the Scions of Hourglass found out about Vyse's research and went to destroy it all. While we don't know much of the details, based on her contract card, it seems that everything was destroyed in that fire, and at that point, Vyse's hands were already in the metallic ones we know today, which is really interesting. Instead of killing Vyse, though, the Scions of Hourglass took her back to their base on Abyss and researched her instead. They locked her up in a cryo-chamber prison so she couldn't use her abilities. It wasn't until the Valorant Protocol fought the Scions at Abyss that her chamber was pierced by a stray bullet and she managed to escape. After following her, the VP found her and recruited her to join. Tejo used to be in the military and was at one point part of Brimstone's military unit in the Ragged Ravens. We aren't exactly sure what chain of events led Tejo to join, but we do know that he's an information specialist. He and Brimstone do not get along, and it seems to be tied to the death of Tariq Porter, who is Brimstone's best friend, and they were all in the military together. Listen to this voicemail Tejo sent Brimstone.
Yo, Cucho. Listen, if you expect me to apologize for what happened all those years ago, you don't remember me very well. We cannot bring back the dead, mi hermano. And many more will die unless we focus on the fight at hand. What comes next will not be easy. But if your team is as trustworthy as you say, we may just survive.
Since Tejo is still so new, we don't know too much else about his past, but I'm hoping that we find out more this year in upcoming lore updates. So, whose life before Valorant is the most interesting to you? Let me know down below, and if you missed part 1 of the series, you can click it here or down in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. God bless. Bye!